Hey there, everybody. Thet here, and welcome to Thet Plays Frostpunk. Version 1.0. Now, I know it says resume story, but we don't have a story to resume just yet. So we're going to play some Frostpunk together. Just you and I and whoever else happens to be watching. If you didn't know, Frostpunk is a survival-style city management game from the makers of This War of Mine. And just like This War of Mine, it is very somber in style and substance here. We're going to start a new scenario and start a new home where we will try to survive. Basically, to preserve civilization from the chaos of its own downfall, we fled to the end of the world after the world has decided that climate change really had to accentuate the change part, and basically, we're back in the Ice Age. Who will we become in the process? Only one way to find out. Lots of hard decisions to make in this game. When all the trees near a sawmill are cut down, dismantle it and find a good location for a new one. There's going to be a lot of dismantling going on of buildings and also possibly my psyche as we continue on. But this game does try to hit you with a really somber tone and, you know, get really real. So we're going to try to keep a little bit of our chin up throughout all of this, you know, stiff upper lip. Maybe not necessarily too stiff. Got to keep a good mood as well. You just gave me the same hint twice. Thank you, Frostpunk. I guess you're out of ideas.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity.
So basically, we all went north and decided to find these generators that have been built to prepare for this kind of ice age. Yeah, I'm skipping about part of the cutscene. You want to see the rest? Get the game for yourself. It's worth it. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our colony was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world we know, as we know it, has crumbled. We have to survive. Here we are. Welcome to home. As you can see, we're in a bit of a crater. We have our generator here. It's not turned on yet, but it does come with a nice little stockpile because they were kind enough to give us that. Fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we will freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Alright, there's one thing I've learned from RimWorld. The very first thing you do anytime you start a game like this, if it gives you the opportunity, is you pause it. So I've got the game paused right now. As you can see, there's 3 speeds that you can play on. It is work time right now. We got coal, wood, steel, steam cores, which are very rare and must be used relatively wisely. Some raw food, which cannot be eaten, but it can be turned into food rations, which will be eaten. You can also see here we're on day 1, and somewhere in between day 4 and 5, the temperature is going to drop significantly. It's already at negative 20, which is not that comfy. Don't know if you knew this. As you can see, everyone's pretty cold. I mean, the humans themselves are relatively comfy. I mean, not really, but they're livable, as you can see from the fact that they're alive. But we want to get things comfortable if possible, because if they're in a comfortable environment, they will not be able to get ill. That said, people will get ill, and you have to be ready for it. The generator right now is off. We need some coal. We got coal. We got wood crates. We got steel wreckage. We got other things. Yes, we do. We got plenty of things. How about you? Let's start getting some coal. We're just going to slap down 15 workers here. Let's go ahead and put 15 workers on another coal pile. Actually, no. Let's not put 15 on this coal pile yet. Actually, wow, we have a lot of coal piles around here. Okay, yeah, we'll throw 15 more. Got 35 more workers available. 20 of them are just regular old workers, and 15 of them are engineers. We also have 15 children who currently are prohibited from working. because, you know, we're relatively decent people. Also, everyone's homeless right now, but that's something we're just going to have to live with for a little bit. And I'm thinking, what is the first thing you want to build? There's got a lot of important choices to make here. Workshop is right out. It's for research. Don't want to build that first. Why would you do that? Resources. Now, gathering the post is definitely tempting, because you throw down a gathering post, and they automatically gather all the resources near it. Is it as efficient as putting someone on one single spot and telling them, oh, gather things here? Actually, no. It's more efficient to just slap them all in the one spot, but you don't have to micromanage nearly as much if they're working from a gathering post. Food, well, we're going to need to make a cookhouse eventually, because people are going to need to eat, yo. Medical post to treat people and make sure they don't die. That would be relatively important. We only have 15 engineers, and 10 of them, well, some of them, I should say, should go in the workshop for research eventually. And then there's tents for people to sleep in. We're not going to worry about that right now. I think right now, with our initial 30 wood and 10 steel, we should build a gathering post over here to get more wood and steel. So we're going to do that. In order for us to do anything with any building, it needs to be connected to a road, because I guess we are basically useless people without roads. So we're going to build a road to our city there. Has to be connected to the generator's initial ring, at the very least. So we can't build anything else right now. Let's tell people to get to work. They're going to just carve through this snow. As you can see, they can just push through it, because they're relatively superhuman. There's tutorial stuff up here in the top left. Don't really need it. I don't know about you. If you do, well, make sure to click up there. As you can see, there's plenty of tutorials. You'll get plenty more as the game goes on. We can rotate it like an owl. We can do all kinds of things with the camera. It's pretty great. We have our coal. Just because they haven't moved there physically yet doesn't mean they haven't been gathering, because, you know, this is just an approximation as to what's actually happening. And now our lovely generator is on. It is powering up the steam level 1, which will keep everyone within this little ring here nice and toasty, at least for a while. At the very least, even though we're technically homeless, as long as they're sitting in this ring, they should not get sick, which is fantastic. And it is also why I think the next thing I'm going to build is probably going to be the medical post. As soon as I get 25 wood, which is not going to be done until we get this puppy here going, I should say. All right. Less than an hour. They've done it. Actual madmen. Put 10 workers in here. They have 240 wood and 60 steel to gather, so we'll let them get to work on that. We could put another one over here, and that might be a good use of 10 more workers. When I can afford it, of course. Gathering posts are actually lovely. I mean, you get... For the coal, I feel like sending people to gather that individually is more helpful, because you want to get the coal as fast as possible. Whereas over here, this is not as important, I will say, to grab as quickly as possible. Got a little bit of a discontent going on because of the lack of shelter. We'll take care of that eventually. Hope, not quite halfway yet, but that's still pretty good. Hope basically determines how, well, hopeful everyone is, and they're less likely to, you know, completely abandon everything. They lose all hope, you know, it's not that great. Discontent goes all the way up. They're going to try to kick you out, and you'll no longer be captain of this little town. I don't know why they call you captain when they could call you mayor just as easily, but captain we are. So you see, got a bunch of people over here. Just, those are children, aren't they? Yeah. They're playing in the street by clapping their hands. It's quite great. Well, here's your father. He's over here carrying some dang coal, so you better be lucky. Better be lucky, kid. You got Elizabeth over here. She's carrying coal, too. Everyone's just making sure you have coal. All right? At least it's livable in the generator area, because it could be a lot worse. Could be and has been from previous playthroughs. Let's see. Now that the generator is humming and we got 200 coal in our stockpile, we need to worry about food. Once the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of your coal reserves now. Food. There's no city if we starve to death. Wouldn't you know it? That seems to be the way that civilization goes. You can't eat, you're just gonna die. Anyway, that means we need a cookhouse. I feel like putting it next to the generator. I like this location here. It's nice and smooth. And eventually we'll build a hunter's hut so that we can get people actually going out and getting food as well. But we'll start with the cookhouse. That'll keep people nice and safe. Let's go ahead and open our book of laws here, see what we got going on. Right now we only have one group of laws, which is adaptation. Find ways to battle hunger, sickness, and apathy. So in adaptation, we could start with something like the emergency shift. It's not... People don't like it. It's going to raise discontent a little bit. And using the emergency shift will actually raise it some more because you're basically saying people need to work here for 24 hours straight. It's not that great, but it's a quick law that we can go ahead and just put on the books right now. We have the ability to sign and start an emergency shift. You trying to work people to death. I'm not using it, okay? I hope these shifts are only used for real emergencies. See, John Wood gets it. John knows that I'm not just doing this to be able to use it right away. Now, everyone go on an emergency shift right away. No, I'm not going to do that. I said I'm not, and I'm not lying. I ain't going to do that. All right? First priority is going to be the cookhouse. We're going to get it all built. It's going to be great. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to slap 5 workers in there. Sure, why not? There you go. We got a place to eat. They're going to turn all of our raw food into food rations right now at a rate of 4 rations to 2 raw... Excuse me, 2 raw food to 4 rations. Got that backwards. All right. It's free time now. Housing problem. No roof over our heads. Captain, people are understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They're falling ill from sleeping outside in this terrible cold. Well, hopefully not, because it's actually warm here near the generator. Either way, they want some shelter. I could promise some shelter. I could promise to provide shelter for everyone, which is 80 homes, which means I would need 80 wood to do that. Now, 40 homes... 4 homes, I should say, because they can hold 10 people each. You know, promising to provide shelter for half the people, that's something that might be possible. Tell you what, let's go ahead and promise half. Keep a little bit of hope going. Alright, I do want to build a medical base soon, but, you know, let's give some people some comfortable homes. Livable is alright. I mean, there's still a small chance they'll get sick, but if I can give them a place to live, I can guarantee at least some of them won't get sick. Alright, so I tell you what, we got 5 more workers left. Let's assign them directly to these wood crates, just to gather it just a little bit faster. What do you want? Wisdom of the crowd, it's a word of advice. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree with everything they ask for. If you fix the problems your way, it's fine. Thank you for the advice, I'll keep that in mind. Which is exactly why I decided not to give everyone shelter. Because that's basically asking for trouble. Because you won't be able to have any... You won't have any wood to put anywhere else. See, now they got tents. At least 10 of them do. Look at them. They're all happy. They're all tented up. They're going to be fine. Plus, keep in mind, that did distract us from being able to build our hunter's hut. So, they're trying to pull you every which way. They're only thinking of their own initial needs. They don't think of the future, these poor little people. That's what you're here for. Isn't that right, kids? Look at them all running around, going to play. Play in the storehouse. That's great. Just don't eat coal, okay? Now, do kids eat coal when they're playing? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been one. It's quite cold up here. We have... None of our engineers have been put to work. Which means we should probably get ready to start doing some studying here soon. And we could also put them to work in the med bay. Something to keep in mind as well. So, lots of things to do. Little time to do it. Well, it's nighttime right now. It's actually midnight right now, so we're just going to speed things up here. One person did get sick, which means it is time to build a med bay. Let's see, how are we doing on... You know what? I'm going to take 5 people off of the gathering post and put them directly on gathering this stuff. I'm going to put 5 engineers on here, too. We need to build that medical post. Alright. There we go. We got the supplies to do it. We're going to put it right here. Once that's done, at the very least, we'll be able to have places to recover. Getting short on resources. Our needs are great and growing by the hour. To address this, we can enact a law that will allow us to extend the working hours. Now you're talking. Extend shift. Unlike the emergency shift, this will basically cause everyone in a certain building to work overtime. It does, you know, raise some discontent, but it's a smaller raise compared to the emergency shift. I'm actually going to enact it on these wooden crates right now. What, 10 hours isn't enough? Suppose in our circumstances, you're darn right it's not enough in our circumstances, okay? We've made all the food. Let's go ahead and shut down the cookhouse for now. Take the workers out of here. Yeah, we'll move the engineers like this. This place is almost done. We got a medical post now. Fill it up with engineers. Engineers are the only ones who can work in here because I guess they're the only ones educated enough. So put that 5 engineers in there. It can hold up to 10 patients. Or excuse me, 5 patients. My mistake. But they're going to go get treatment, and over time they will heal up as long as they don't become gravely ill. Which hopefully we can stave off as long as possible. We have 26 wood. There we go. Let's get up to 10 here. Come on. There we go. All right. We have... actually, I don't think I put that in the right... You know what? That's close enough. There's a little hole here, but I could put a road through there. So that's enough shelter for everyone for now. It's the amount that I promised. So what's next on the docket, you might be wondering? Well, we do need that hunter's hut. And I think that should be our next priority. We need to hunt. We need to eat. So the hunter's hut. Let's actually go back to the construction menu here. If you look above the cost, which is 20 wood for the cookhouse, it has a base heating level of 1. Which means it's comfortable right where it is, next to the generator. The hunter's hut has a base heating level of 2. What does that mean? That means I can afford to put it a little bit farther back and still have it be relatively comfortable. We're also going to need roads for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and build roads straight up that angle there. The hunter's hut actually works at night, so the sooner these guys get their job done, the sooner we can get some hunters going. I don't think you can put engineers as hunters, so we're going to have some people pulled off of regular labor. Shelter promise fulfilled. Hopes going up a little bit. Everyone feels a little bit relieved with a roof, even if it's a flapping one, over their heads. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind. Now it's time to build a beacon. Secure Frostland. Save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. Now we need to build that workshop. So we're going to need 15 wood and 5 steel to do that. We will have that tomorrow, almost first thing. So I tell you what, I'm actually going to bring everyone off of this. Put you all in the hunter's hut. You get 15 raw food per day. It's a start. They work at night from 1800 to 600 hours. So they're going to head out pretty much immediately. Probably not going to get us much food because I started them basically in the middle of the night. But as you can see, they're comfy in here. They're comfortable because it's a naturally insulated building, which is wonderful for us. Since I'm not using engineers anywhere else right now, let's go ahead and throw them into the gathering post. It's a decent start, I think. We have a good amount of coal. And this pile is getting close to being drained. You know what? Let's take 5 people off of here for now. We're going to need them later. You'll see why. Whoa, what is going on here? Cannot resume production. We don't have any raw food. Requires at least 1 worker. Facility has been closed. Okay, yeah. These all make sense to me. Enough time has passed so we can introduce a new law. And I know I'm going a mile a minute here, I feel like. But this game has a lot going for it. There's a lot happening at once. And I'm actually not playing at full speed, which is usually what I do when I'm playing the game myself. So we could institute a new law. If we wanted to lower discontent, we could go ahead and set up a fighting arena for him to fight. As you can see, I'm assuming this guy must be a half ogre. I don't know where we got that, but I mean, come on. Versus this guy, you have to build it. That's the only downside. Evening bouts will reduce discontent. It's an easy way to do that. We could also enact dueling laws or public houses afterwards as well. Right now, our discontent's not too bad. I don't need to worry about what to do with corpses yet, because I don't have any, thankfully. We also don't have to worry about what to do with overly sick people yet. I mean, we're actually not doing that bad. We could make soup. People don't like soup. It raises discontent. But it does feed more people with the same amount of food. We could also use food additives, throwing sawdust in there to make them more filling, which also feeds more people. But that also raises discontent, and people eating sawdust have a chance to get sick. So I'm not a fan of either of those. We could also put the children to work for terrible people or desperate people. Let's be real. In safe jobs like cookhouses or hothouses, we don't need to put children to work yet. So I'm hoping not to have to do that. We could also build child shelters, which is a place where they're stay safe during the day while the parents are out working. Providing children with a place in a child's shelter gives you a permanent hope bonus. So we'll probably get this on the docket later. For now, since I don't really have any other laws to pass, let's go ahead and set up a fighting arena. Costs 20 wood and 10 steel. We don't have to do it right now. It's not really that big of a deal. Good. Betting on fights was the next best thing to the races. I'm itching to see a good fight. It'll be just like old times. Ah, yes, old times. We used to just beat the crap out of each other. Oh, London. What would I ever do without you? Anyway. We do have one person who's sick. He should be... Actually, we have 6 people who are sick. This one means there's someone who's not in a facility who's sick. But Garrett Brundle is about to be out in 5 hours, so just don't get gravely ill for the next 5 hours. You should be fine. Alright. Let's build our workshop. The workshop does have a heat efficiency of 2. So we'll just shove this all the way back as far as we can. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. So we have 10 people gathering here. This is not 100% efficient. Why not? 2 people are sick. That's why. It makes sense. It's okay. It's a coal pile. Eventually, we will not be gathering from these piles anyway. But to figure out another way to get coal. But the workshop's going to help a lot with that. Don't you worry. Okay. Speed things up just a little bit more here. 5 hours for that workshop to get done. We can wait for that. How are people doing? Cynthia Chapman, how you doing? You're alone in this world, but you at least are comfy here in the shelter of our, big heater thing. You do work in the coal pile. It's a little breezy out here. It's chilly, in fact. It's going to get colder extremely soon, which means we're going to have to start worrying about far more medical maladies. 2 hours. 2 hours and Garrett's out of here. He's going to be fine. Look at him. He can go back to the coal pile here just a bit. Nothing to worry about. Don't even worry. Probably do want to look at building more houses here soon. Let's see. Is there anywhere else I would build a gathering post? I could build one over here. Actually, wow. There's a lot of stuff over here. I'll probably build one over there next. Right now, we just don't have the labor to throw... Well, we kind of do, but we also don't. I want to save the workers I do have, especially to throw 5 engineers right here and start working on some industry. Now, I really like faster gathering. It only costs 10. It'll take 7 hours to research, and it'll make sure we get resources just a little bit faster. We're going to start with that. We might go with better hunting right afterwards just to get food coming in, but resources are important, needless to say. Wood crates have been depleted. We knew it was going to be done eventually. What do we got over here? 95 more and 25 more steel. Then we'll dismantle this, build one over here, and basically do the whole song and dance over again. How you guys doing? Look at the hunter's hut. You coming back home, huh? You should very, very rarely, if ever, get sick, Mr. Theodore Petham. Is it Petham or Petham? Oh, there's a TH. But it could also be Pet Ham, but put into one word. I'm not sure. Now, I can pronounce Morris Peepcock. That's no problem. You are very cold. You are at more of a risk of getting ill than a lot of us. Marcellus almost definitely won't get ill. She's also alone in this world. I'm sorry to hear that. Bernard Weeks. He's very likely to not get ill. He's got a house, though. No, he doesn't. He'll be forced to sleep on the ground. You did not need to know that about a child. But that's kind of how it is. We do have a couple of doctors here. Helen Atchison working over here healing the sick. We have 4 people in care. Nobody else is sick. That's beautiful. I love it. You don't even understand. Coal pile has been deleted. I love it. You don't even understand. Because that means I can come over here and get this going. At least for now. I don't feel like we're in a... Let's just go ahead and extend right here. Oh. Alright, extend to here for now. Feel like that'll be sufficient. Get this coal pile going. There's a bunch more wood around it. Some steel wreckage. It's all pretty great. What's going on over here? People from our convoy. A family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. We'll do what we can. We'll do what we must. But we do it for ire. No, we actually do it for you. Because we love you. Anyway. So, we still have a 34 in this coal pile. When this coal pile is done, we'll probably just shift them over to the one next door for now. We can only hold like 800 coal, but we're doing very, very nicely on our resources here. Stockpile says getting 120 coal a day, 35 wood, 25 steel, 15 raw food. It's going to get a lot colder here in a bit, though. For at least a couple days, and then it looks like the temperature is going to bring back up one level, which is about 10 degrees on the old seas here. So we're going to end up at 30 degrees, which means a lot of our places are not going to be comfortable. But they'll be sufficient. What's up? Housing protests, sleeping outside. Some of our people are protesting against the lack of housing. Last night was not the first day to spend outside. They want you to see their needs immediately. So we can promise shelter right away. For 20 people, it's not too bad. We only got one day to do it, though. Let's see. Provide them with proper housing. That's better than a tent. We don't even have that yet, so that's not going to happen. I could also say I'm not going to do this right now. It's going to make people a little bit more discontent. You know what? We don't have the fighting arena. We can build that in a bit. So, let's hold off on that. We only got 3 wood. We're getting 35. We actually got a good amount coming in per day. And this is probably going to be done soon. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to have wood coming out the wazoo. Boom. All right, wood's coming through now. Halfway done with the research here, which is actually a lot less than I want to get done. 3 people still stick. It's going all right. It's going all right. I'm not complaining. Not too much. I mean, we got some homeless people, but come on. What are you going to do? Build a house for everyone? What do you think this is? Freaking Sim City? Get out of my house. Survived another night. That has to account for something. Darn right. Nobody's dead. We got another 240 wood over here to gather. Does the fighting arena have any? No, it has literally no base heating level. I mean, that's probably not that bad because they're only going to fight in it during the evening. But it's still something to keep in mind. Alright. Still free time for another... Well, some people are going to work, and it's getting cold. Oh, boy. Yeah, now it's chilly everywhere, which is not great. You know what? For now, let's go ahead and turn on overdrive. Overdrive will raise the level by 1 point here. There you go. See, it's livable in all these areas again. Most of them. The Hunter's Hut's still a little cold. Now, overdrive does turn up the stress level. If the stress level hits 100%, you will probably lose. Because the generator is at risk of exploding at that point, which means it's time for some desperate measures. Fortunately, we're smart enough to not let it hit 100%. At least I hope. Alright. We're still researching. We're still gathering. Got a little bit more wood coming in. Alright. Let's... Yeah, I think right now, still the best thing to build would be to go ahead and get this fighting arena done. You just plop it right in there. Make all those dudes happy. Another coal pile has been depleted, not deleted. Let's move you guys right next door. Hope that's cool. Alright, thank you for your support. Faster gathering is researched. Hallelujah. Now I want to build this beacon. So the beacon will allow us to send scouts out. Basically search for goods and survivors, as it says. Definitely want to get that researched. It's worth using the last of our wood. We're going to need to gather more wood so that we can actually send out scouts, but it'll totally be worth it. Once that long run gets here, that is. Let's see. We have no food rations right now, but we have 30 food. So let's get a couple of cooks in our kitchen here. Alright, fighting arena's built. Hope goes up a little bit, as you can see. The arena will open at 19 o'clock. Nobody's fighting right now. But it does make people a little bit happier. Works from 18:30 to 23:30. Steel wreckage has been depleted. Still got a little bit more wood to gather here. Which is jolly well good. I can't believe so few people have gotten sick so far. Knock on wood, but please, do me this favor. Let's throw up another... I don't know if I should throw up another tent or not. I would love to have more people to put to work, but I don't want to put children to work. So I'm avoiding that for now. Alright, it's free time again. Alright, John Hood and Tim Mountbatten. About to fight the crap out of each other. We could introduce a new law if we wanted to. Here they come. Oh, yeah. Alright, I want a good, clean fight. Oh, there they go! Look at them. Wish I could zoom in more, but I can't. Oh, yeah. Oh! Look at that dodge. What a champion. I don't even know which one that is. Oh, that boy is untouchable, though. You can't even deal with him. Oh, so close to the beacon. Oh, got a knockdown. Didn't even see that. Let's go ahead and open the Book of Laws here, see what else we got. We got a few other things for keeping people happy. A dueling law. Disagreements between people who face deadly threats every day can be resolved in a duel. Sometimes people will get killed. Each spontaneous duel will slightly reduce discontent. Being able to duel makes people... I don't know. I don't know if I want to risk people getting killed. Public house. Ah, yes. A tavern. Even in this harsh new world, people still need to raise their spirits after working good company with a stiff drink. You can build the public house. Patrons will be less discontented. Hope will raise up a little bit. You have to build it. Costs 15 wood. There can only be one in a city. Then you can go towards Moonshine or the House of Pleasure. You know what? Public house. Let's do it. Please tell me it has some innate heating. Ooh, base heating level of 2. Yeah, we throw that sucker right in the back. Right behind this house. A pub, just like in London. Let's call it the Pipe and the Hole. All right. Beautiful. It's actually wonderful. Gonna build us a pub. Everyone's gonna be happy. As you can see. Oh, look at that. It's actually amazing. It needs workers. For now, let's just have one. Yeah, we'll have two. It's open between 19 and 23:30. So it's a late night type of affair. But it'll make people around it happy. So discontent's relatively low right now. They're upset because we ignored some of their requests. And there's still some people who lack shelter. But all in all, we're not doing too bad. We fulfilled a few promises. We signed a few good laws. Nobody's complaining too much, I don't think. So, I think that's a good stop. Oh, someone else got sick. It's alright. In 2 hours, Cynthia's going to be out of here. And that new person can get in. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode of Thet Plays Frostpunk. If you're enjoying it, make sure to let me know by giving a like if you haven't already. Feel free to subscribe for more. Till then, folks, let's put one more person here. Thank you again for watching this episode of Thet Plays Frostpunk. Next time, we'll build that beacon. We will not let our generator explode, even though it's getting close. And we'll learn a little bit more about life in the waste. The frozen waste. That's all I got. You think this is because of the first episode? I'm going to perfectly plan my intros and outros? Were you nuts? It's 3:30 in the morning. It's actually 3:40 now. Man, time flies when you're having fun. I'll see you in the next video.